And we'll start with our Catback series. So hands are under our shoulders. So today we're going to work a little bit through the wrists, and still we're going to do the Catback, rock back and forth, and then we'll add the wrist movements in it. So sit back towards your heels, bend the elbows, lift your chest up, and then flatten out the feet and find the curl as you sit back. Push into the heels of your hands, fingers are reaching forward. And then curl the toes under, bend the elbows slightly and feel the chest reach away. Draw those shoulders back. And then find the curl. Flatten out the shins, push into your shins, rounding the spine. And come back. So now our hands are gonna rotate out like so. So curl the toes under, bend the elbows, reach the chest. Flatten out the shins and push into the floor and round. We'll do that one more time with the hands in that position, opening up the chest. And then flatten out the shins and round. Good. And then my favorite, hands are like so. All right, so you're gonna put the fingertips down first and then the heels of the hands. My favorite. All right, so we're gonna come back. You're gonna feel the arch, stretch out the wrists, and then flatten out the shins and stretch out the wrists and the curl. One more time here, again, curling the toes under and flattening out the shins. So now the hands turn inward. Sitting back, a little bend of the elbows so that you can reach the chest forward, and then flatten out the shins and find the curl. One more of these. Arch and curl. And then we'll take the hands back to forward. So fingertips facing forward on your mat. Curl the toes under. See if there's a difference in your shoulders when you go into arch. And curl. Last flow with fingertips facing forward. And curl. So here in the curl, you're going to push into your hands, curl the toes under, lift up so that we're in our bridge, they call it. So our shoulders are down. I want you to drop the heels down by bending the knees, bend the elbows a little bit and reach your heart through your fingers. So there's your arch. Raise up really high on the tippy toes, find the roundness of your spine. And then start to lower your heels and find the arch by bending the knees, drawing the shoulders. Again, raising up really high on the tippy toes, rounding the spine, dropping the heels and arch. So as you lift up high on your tippy toes, rounding the spine, slowly come down, bending the knees. Keep your head in between your arms as long as possible. And then you're back into our tabletop position for knee to forehead. So opposite foot presses down, so your one foot is pressing down into the floor with the shin, and then the other foot's going to pull all the way into your chest as you round the spine. As you slide the leg back, you come up onto the toe of the other one, reach the leg back as far back as you can, and as you flex the foot, just a little bend the elbows, reach the chest. Let's do 4 more knee to forehead. Flatten out the shin, pull it all the way in, round the spine. Send the leg all the way back straight first, and then flex, arch, and curl. And arch. Bend the elbows a little. Last one. And then set that knee down. Let's do the other side. So as you press in, press the shin down, round, push into the floor, slide that leg back until it's straight, curl the toe. The opposite one, flex the foot, little bend of the knees, bend the elbows so you're arching as much as possible. And now let's do that. 3. And reach. And 2. Reach. And 1. And then just sit back and round the spine a little bit. And we're going to come to a seated position. So the legs are going to stretch out in front. The hands are going to lace together. And I want you to push the hands forward, but not till your arms are straight. So you can sit back, flex those feet, draw the tops of your feet to you. Good. And now you're going to point the toes as you reach out over your thighs. Come all the way up. And as you're coming up, bend the right leg, flex the left, and let's turn. Arms fall down. So when you're in this position, you're going to push upward and spiral to look back at the same time. And let's do that again. Flex both feet, push them the heels away as you round, then come forward, point the toes. Lift all the way up and stretch. Bend one, flex the other, and lift up. One more time each side. Good. And last one. And as we come back into the center, I'm going to sit sideways. You're going to bring your hands back behind you, bend the elbows just a little bit, pull the knees all the way into the chest. Try to round as much as possible. And then you're going to sit back into your hands and lift the legs up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Good. Kick them off to one side. Turn the hands around so the fingertips are out. Push into the floor, lift your chest. And then again, spiral back, sit back, pull the knees all the way into the chest, lift, and we'll do the other side. Just make sure you spiral the hands around and lift to lift. Otherwise, there won't be much lift. And let's do one more on each side. Tuck, 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 lift, and other side. Lift the chest. And last one. Nice rounded spine coming up. And side, lift the chest. And then we're back into the center. So creating a diamond with your legs. Let's not pull the legs in, keep them away. Your hands are holding on your shins. And we're going to dive. We're going to do forward and reversed waves. So let's lift our chest all the way forward, coming over the thighs, and then sit back, and then scooping. So you're going to come down in between the legs, scoop all the way up. We'll do one more in the center. Remember, we did this seated, our scooping waves. And diving straight down. The purpose of this is to open up the lower back and the kidney. So as you spiral over the right leg, reach all the way out over the thigh. Sit back and scoop up. Other side. And up. And then as you come back to the center, stretch the legs out. We're going to do a set with our feet flexed here. And we're going to go forward over the legs. Pull back. And then dive straight back down. And up. Good. So a little spiral. We're going to reach away and come back up and dive straight down. And the other side. And then straight down. So the feet are still flexed and we're going to open them out wide. So reaching through the center and rolling up. And diving straight down. And up again, starting on the right. And left. And then as we come back into the center, this time point your toes. And we'll do it here with toes pointed. So reaching out. pulling back, diving straight down and up. Let's start on the left side now. So we're going to reach out over. And the other side. And then as you come back into the center, reach the legs straight out in front, but point those toes. Let's forward and reverse. Over to the right, left actually. And over to the right. And legs. Keep the toes pointed and forward and reversed here. Left. Right. And then we're going to come into the center, keep the feet together. And in this position, you're going to grab the shins, you're going to tuck in your belly, and you're going to round your spine. And we're going to do a pulsation. So you're going to scoop out and carve out the abdominals, press the feet together, and then release. And then it's a big exhale. And release. And 3, release, and 4. Release. And then you're going to stretch the legs out and flex the feet, and you're going to round forward, and we're going to pull the belly button back, and 1, and pull it back, 2. Try to again move from the lower back and reach those legs away, 3 and 4, and then the legs open. We let the arms come around and down, and we're pulling in and releasing. So try to pull the legs up off the floor and release. And then we're going to bring the legs back into that diamond shape with toes pointed. And we got 4 pulses here. 4, 3, tuck in that tailbone, 2, and 1. Point the toes as they go forward, and we round over the thighs and we pull in. 1, 2. Try to wring out those ribs. 3 and 4. Last one, taking the legs out wide, and 2, and round on 3 and 4, and then bring the legs together, and we have again that diamond shape, and we're just going to let ourselves kind of round over that for a moment. So when you're here, again, try not to be still. You want to feel your body kind of shift from side to side, so that if you have any tightnesses, you're going to address it here. You know, let your upper body kind of relax your head in between your arms. And then you're going to roll up. So as we work into hip mobilization, you're going to take both legs and you're going to bring them on top of each other. Just going to kind of spiral around. And then open back up into that diamond shape, and then bring the legs over to the other side and round. Let's do that one more time on each side. And now as we go over, we bring both legs on top of each other, and then take this leg and just push it back and round over that opposite leg. Now bring the top leg back in, and let's find that diamond shape again. So go over to the other side, push that leg back and round. Come on top, open it up, and the other side. One more series. And together, and other side. Bring both legs together in the center. Again, find that roundness to the spine, shake it out. And we're gonna end standing today. So when we come up to standing, we'll go through the balance work. So find your feet in that parallel position, side by side. All right, hope my head's not cut off. And we're gonna step over to the right and squeeze the legs together and lift. So the standing leg is pushing you up. Let's do the other side. And lift. Good. So the arms are gonna reach out. Good. So try not to think of this as a knee lift, but try to think about this as a body lift. So the whole body is lifting up. Great. And we have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So we're going to let that foot slide across the front, and we're going to lift the inner thigh. And step, slide, and lift. Flex your foot. Yep. And flex, and flex. And one more time each side. Good. And then we're going to pause. Let the arms kind of dangle. We're going to spiral 8 to the right and 8 to the left. So, and as you do this, you pick up the foot and you put it down. It's like a marching feeling. And the other way. And and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're standing still, gather up. Everything comes through the heart center, and then everything comes back up and out. Gather it all back up. What you need, bring everything back through each of the energy zones. Let the fingers reach down, feel the earth, and up. And float down. Great class today, David. Good work.